my name is Mwende. Today I'll be a teacher and we are talking about friendly letters which fall under functional writing. So, as you all know, there are two types of letters. We have the formal and informal letters, and friendly letters fall under the informal letters. When you talk about informal letters and formal letters, the informal letters are written for not official purposes, while the formal letters are written for official purposes. So examples of formal letters may include application letters, letters of apology, but today our main focus is informal letters, and friendly letters fall under informal letters. So if we may begin by stating what is a friendly letter. So a friendly letter is a letter written to someone close to us to share information or to send invites or news. So most of the time we tend to write friendly letters so as to maybe talk about an experience to a friend, maybe to share information about something that has happened to you, to someone close, or maybe when you are sending an invite, maybe you may write a friendly letter to your cousin, inviting them for your birthday, or sharing an experience that you experienced and you want to share to them. For example, you may share your experience about your Halloween, you may share your experience about how the Christmas season has been for you when you go back to school in January. So first of all, we need to understand what is the format of writing a friendly letter. So the format, so by the end of our lesson, we should be able to identify the format of writing a friendly letter, what's the body of a friendly letter composes of, and by the end of the lesson, one should be able to write a friendly letter. So a friendly letter composes of 5 things that we should note. We have the address. Number 1, we have the address. The address is the address of the sender, the one sending the letter. And then second thing, we have the greeting. Third thing, we have the body. Fourth thing, we have the closing. And the fifth thing is the signature. So we are going to discuss one at a time of the components of a friendly letter. So when you talk about an address, we are talking about the address of you, the person who is writing the friendly letter. And an address composes of your name, the P.O. box, your location, and a date. So this arrow is to illustrate that we must skip a line. We must keep a line always when we are writing an address. So after the location, we have the date, and we must keep a line. So let me just give an example of an address here. Example. Let us assume I'm writing a friendly letter to my sister. So my name is Michelle Mwende. Then I'm going to write my P.O. box here. After Michelle, we write P.O. box 100. And then my location is Nairobi. Then I'm going to skip a line here and write the date. Today, 2024. So the address is always written on the top right. When I mean the top right is, if this is your page top right iko hapa. So the address will always be on the top right, but it will depend on the format that you're writing with. And something that you should note about an address, you have to correctly punctuate the address. So after your name, we put a comma. PO box, we put a comma. Then after the location, you put a full stop, and then you write the date. So for you to get a mark on the address, one should ensure that you have correctly punctuated Michelle Mwende, comma, PO box, comma, location, and then you put a full stop. So I hope everyone is following here. So class, we have said that when writing an address, you write your name, Michelle Mwende, comma, PO box 100, comma, Nairobi, full stop, and then you skip a line and write the date. So that is all about the address, and then you're going to look at the greetings. So after the address, of course, you have to put the salutation or the greetings. So you skip a line. After the date, you skip a line, and then salutations are examples of salutations. You may say, dear sister, dear friend, or etc., etc. So something also to note about the salutation, it is punctuated. So after you write dear sister, ensure you put a comma, dear friendly, and then you put a comma. So that is the salutation, and then the body. So the body, it is what you are talking about in your letter. So the body is displaying or providing the information of why you're writing your letter. So the body is actually the letter, what message you want to convey to the person receiving the letter. So So we have said the body is what you want to convey to the person receiving the letter. So you may write a friendly letter, maybe to send an invite, to share an experience, to talk about something that has happened in your life. So the body, after the address, we have said after the address we have the greeting, and then after the greeting we have the body. And you have said the body is what you want to convey to the person receiving the letter. So your body, or what the letter is composed of, is what you're talking about in, this is what we call the body. So we can have 3 paragraphs of the body, whereby body we may have the opening paragraph. So when you're writing the body, of course, you have to begin somewhere. And the opening paragraph, here we are sending warm greetings. For example, you may begin by, hi, how are you? So you can see we have begun our paragraph with a greeting. So you must, this is not an official letter, so this is something that you are sending to someone close. So you have to begin with a greeting, and then after the first paragraph, we may have the second paragraph. The second paragraph is where you share the purpose of the friendly letter. And then we have the closing paragraph. We may end with a goodbye or send. So we are talking about the body, and you have said the body has an opening paragraph, and then the second paragraph is where we share the purpose of the friendly letter, and then the closing paragraph, we may end it with a goodbye or send or summarize what you're talking about in your letter. So tumesema kuhusu an address, we have talked about the greeting or the salutations, and then we have said what composes of a body. I will give you an example for better understanding, and then after you have written your body, let me underline here. So after writing your body, we have the closing. Number 4, we have the closing. So after writing your body, we may write the closing at the bottom right or left. So nimesema we may write at the bottom right or left because the format of your letter may differ. So if I've written my address here, tulisema address inaandikwa on the top right. If I've written my address there, I may write my closing here. Or if I've written my address here, I may write my closing here. So what I mean by closing is where you write yours sincerely. You may also write your friend, etc., etc. So also during closing, you must punctuate it. What do I mean by that? For greeting, we said we must punctuate it. After dear friend, we put a comma. So also this applies here. Yours sincerely, and then you put a comma. So after that, you may write your name. After that, you write your name. And then the fifth part is the signature. So after the name, you write your signature. So these are the main parts of a friendly letter. You must be able to write the address, you must be able to write the salutations, you must be able to write the body, you must be able to compose the body, you must also be able to write a closing and a signature. So let me take you back to the body. I will give you an example of a friendly letter. I will just read it loud. So we have an example here. So the letter reads, so I'm reading after the salutation, after dear friend. This is an example of the body of a friendly letter. Says, dear Emily, comma, how are you doing? I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to tell you about my new puppy, Max. He is a golden retriever and he's so cute. We have been playing fetch in the park and he loves to cuddle. I'm also excited upon the upcoming school trip to the museum. I can't wait to see the dinosaur exhibit. Let me know what you're up to, and then akaeka yours sincerely, the name and the signature. So for you to be able to construct a friendly letter or a well punctuated and composed friendly letter, you must be able to understand that the address should be well punctuated. There are marks for the address. So if you write your name without the comma, that means you're losing a half a mark. When you write the PO box without the comma, you're losing half a mark. When you write the location without the full stop, you're losing half a mark. So most of the time, the address composes of 5 marks. So if you deduct the half and half and half, you're losing around 2 marks. And then you should also ensure that you skip a line after the location before writing your date. So if you don't skip a line here, that means it's also half a mark. So you should be keen about what you're writing in your address. You should be keen that it is well punctuated. You should also ensure that you skip a line. And then after the date, we also skip a line. Tunaenda kwa salutation. And also ensure the salutation is well punctuated with a comma. So I'm going to write an example here, so that you can easily reference. So we have said the beginning, we begin with an address which is written on the top right. So Michelle Mwende, comma. This comma is very important, and then we write P.O. Box 100, comma, and then we write Nairobi, full stop. Then we skip a line and write. So this is how your address should be. Well punctuated, the comma, and the full stop. And then we skip a line, and then we write, Dear Emily. So as you can see, my address is well punctuated. We have the comma, the full stop, and then I've skipped a line. This is a whiteboard, so when you're writing in your exercise books, ensure you skip a line. And then you skip a line and then write the salutation, which is Dear Emily. So after that, you have said the body composes of 3 paragraphs, at least 3 paragraphs. And you should ensure that you are accurate and straight to the point. Avoid a lot of information when writing a friendly letter, because this is not an official letter where you have to explain a lot. So, Dear Emily. So we have said the body composes of the 3 paragraphs. The opening paragraph, you're sending a warm greeting. So you have to say hi. Hi. How are you doing? So, after the salutation, I've written, hi, how are you? have been good since the last time we saw each other. A lot has happened since then. I got to visit Dubai during December holiday and wanted to share how my experience was. So you can see that nimeanza na greeting because this is not a formal letter. This is not an official letter. We have to display like we are close enough. So I have been good since the last time we saw each other. A lot has happened since then. I got to visit Dubai during the December holiday and wanted to share how my experience was. So most of the time we write friendly letters when we want to share an experience, provide information, send invitation. But I'm writing my friend this letter so that I can share my experience during my visit to Dubai. So the opening paragraph, we have greeted them. And then the second paragraph, we are going to say, I was super excited about the So the second paragraph is where we are sharing the purpose of the friendly letter. So I was super excited about the buildings I saw while in Dubai. Wanted to share my experience so that maybe next time you may join us. You may also add, I bought you a toy from one of the malls for your birthday. I am super excited to give it so the second paragraph, we share the purpose of the friendly letter, and I've said here, my example is, I was super excited about the buildings I saw while in Dubai, wanted to share my experience, wanted to share with you so that maybe next time you may come with us. I bought you a toy from one of the malls for your birthday. So excited to give it to you and also share the pictures, not pics, I took. So you can see the first paragraph, we began with the greeting and then maybe checking up on each other, and then the second paragraph we are writing what is the purpose of the letter, and then the third paragraph you may write I hope next time we will travel together and share So the closing paragraph we may end with a goodbye. I've said, I hope next time we travel together and enjoy the holidays. See you soon. So the format is the address, the greeting, the body, and then we have the closing, and then we have the signature. So this is our letter. This is what the body composes of. It should not be long. It should not be short. It should be direct to the point. Ensure that you use simple language, not complex sentences, and ensure you're direct to the point. Do not make it too official. It should be warm because we write friendly letters to people close to us. So ensure that it is very short, very precise, very accurate, very direct to the point. So after that, we are going to write our closing. So let me just write it here. Sababu hakuna space. So you may write yours sincerely. Then we have said ensure that you correctly punctuate all the segments of the friendly letter, from the address, from the salutations, and the closing. So after writing yours sincerely, or you may write your friend, your lovely friend, we put a comma, and then we write your name, Michelle, put a full stop, and then we put a signature. So this is very simple. The address, well punctuated, the commas, the full stop, skip a line and then the date. Dear Emily, comma, and then we begin with the greetings, and then you state the purpose of the letter, and then you close. So it is just as easy as that. And maybe I may give an assignment. You may write, let me write a letter to a friend. About your summer vacation. So practice makes perfect. So the more you practice, the more you'll be able to understand the format. And I want you to try this. So it should be write a friendly letter. So write a friendly letter to a friend about your summer vacation. So as I've said, practice makes it perfect. So when you write this one, you'll be able to understand, or by writing it or doing that exercise, you'll be able to retain the information that you have talked about. So let me give a summary of what the lesson has been about. We have talked about friendly letters, and we have said friendly letters fall under formal letters, and we have two types of letters, the formal and the informal letters. And the informal letters are an example. We have said application letters, letters of apology, etc., etc. And we have said friendly letters fall under informal letters. Informal letters, no, friendly letters fall under formal letters. So, we have also said that a letter composes of 5 things, and we have said the address is the first thing that is written on the top right, and then we have the greetings or the salutation, and then we have the body, and then we have the closing and the signature. So when you're writing a letter or a friendly letter, you should ensure that you keep this in mind: an address, the greeting or the salutation, and then the body. We have said the body composes of 3 things: the opening paragraph, the second paragraph, the third paragraph. And the opening paragraph is where you tend to greet your friend. Hi, how are you doing? This finds you well. Hi, how was your summer? How was your holiday? So we are greeting them, because friendly letters, we tend to write them to people close to us. So we keep it very not official. We keep it, it's just like sending a text, but now we are writing in form of a letter. So we keep it not official. And then after the opening paragraph, we have said that the second paragraph should be you stating the purpose of the letter. Maybe we want to share an experience, maybe you want to share information. And then the closing paragraph, we are sending goodbyes, maybe a see you soon, or maybe you want to maybe share more information, but it should be composed of what? A closing or a goodbye. And then we have talked about the signatures and this one here. So ensure you punctuate your addresses, ensure you punctuate your salutation and the ending or the closing. So this was our lesson. I hope you learned something, and please do practice this one and try and write a friendly letter to your friend talking about your summer vacation.